Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk, back again with another 3D project for you, and this time it's a little gift box that I've created here, slightly more unusual shape. And I've used one of our gold binder clips, but you could just as easily use the kind of library clips, anything at all that's just that nice clip for the top. I've folded over a piece of DSP, and this is the Painted Love DSP I've used here. And I've created a tag using the Cake Soiree tag, which is this one here. Just comes and it creates a lovely edge on the bottom there, and I've used the sentiment from the same stamp set, which has lovely ones about best wishes, but celebrate for you and happy birthday. So a great one to have in your stash for some little accent sentiments. And inside this pouch is unusually for me some baby products. These are some lovely Neal's Yard products, which are organic, baby oil and baby balm, and that little bottle there is just about 4 inches by sort of an inch and a half, inch and 3/4 in diameter. So that gives you an idea of what would fit into this gift box, but really, you know, anything would fit in at all. And I've just used the rose stamp to create some interest on the front of the card. So having used the So Saffron, I thought actually it might be quite nice to use a slightly different colour, especially as it's retiring. So I'm using some Peekaboo Peach, because although this DSP Painted Love has Calypso Coral, I felt that was a little bit strong for some sort of baby products. So I thought I'd use the Peekaboo Peach, and it just softens down. You can see it actually blends in quite well as well. So that's what I'm going to do today. You will need a sheet of A4 cardstock, and you want one that's 8 1/4 inches in width, and you're going to trim it down to 11 1/2 inches in length, which is just slightly shorter than UK A4. So having trimmed it, we're going to turn it portrait, and we're going to score at 2 inches and at 7 1/2 inches, like so. Then pop it so that the narrow scored bit is at the top, and we're going to score just to the first score line at 1 inch and at 6 1/2 inches, which is that measurement, horrible measurement just in between, just on the join of a Stampin' Up! Trimmer. We're then going to score all the way to the bottom at 11 inches, like so. And then we're going to do some scoring just on this bottom section here. So we line up, and at the bottom you're going to score at 2 inches. I'll just zoom out so you can see. You see my messy desk. 2 inches at 5 1/2 inches. I don't have an awful lot of space to craft in, but I make the most of it, at 7 1/2 inches, and then we've already done the 11 inches at the bottom there. So pop your trimmer away, and now you're going to need a ruler and an embossing tool. If you've got a steel-edged ruler, that's ideal, just makes it easier. After a while the edges of plastic rulers get a little bit sort of knobbly, so if you've got a steel one. And you're going to do some scoring. So from the bottom of this first score mark down to the bottom here, and the same to the outside edge. This score mark here, and the same here. So you've got a triangle, another triangle. And then we're just going to trim away this bottom section here. So straight up and trim away. And then cut up to the score line on each of these. And if you want to notch out the small tab, but you only need to cut a tiny sliver. And once you've cut those, then you can start folding and burnishing those score lines. So do the bottom ones, and then just be careful with these diagonal ones. What I tend to do is sort of ease them gently, because what you don't want to do is score diagonally on the top. You just want to score on these diagonals here. Flip over, and the same again, so just gently ease that one there. This one on the end is slightly easier, it's got a little bit less bulk to work with, but again we're trying not to score diagonally on the very top. And then this is the kind of awkward one because it's right on the edge, so just sort of, again, ease with your finger, use that bone folder just to score down. Okay, and then you'll see that that score line is where we join on the far side. And all you need to do is just cut, as I haven't cut slightly more diagonally on the back there. Because that is going to fold up like it is, even more angled. There we go. Up to the side there. Like so. And just trim a little bit more away if you need to. Okay, so that's how our box is going together. So that's this sort of awkward bit at the back. You just need to angle away a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Mirroring the angle on the other side. Okay, so I didn't make that very clear, did I? So you're making a very sharp angle on the side here. And that is to just help line it up. Having done that, we're going to then decorate the front of our box. And this is, you can either use Versamark or the self-coloured ink if you've got the coordinating ink. And all I did was I just came across and stamped some roses on the top, and then randomly stamped some roses as a background. Trying not to kind of line them up too much, but just fill in the blanks. And you can do this with this repeat stamping with any you know, sort of simple image and get a just very pretty, effective background. Some people like to overlap. I prefer not to, but that's just how I am. And once you've done that, pop that up to one side. Now we're going to stick that side edge. Now, because it's a very fine edge, as you've seen, I'm going to put a very fine piece of red tape up the outside there. Yep, so you can see that there. And with red tape, always try to remember to burnish it well. While we've got it flat, I'm also going to put a piece of red tape across the bottom here, because that's going to be our front piece, and that'll just remind you which one is going to fold in at the very end to hold it closed on the bottom. So like so. Again, burnish that. So then this is going to line up on the back here. And what I recommend is you keep the bottom open and pop your hand in from the bottom to help that stick. So if you pop it closed like this and do the top, hand in from the back, from the bottom, and just, there we go, glue that closed like so. Pop your flaps in at the bottom, this one down, and there we have it. So although it's a little bit fiddly to get that angle, which I didn't do very well on the video, did I? Once you've done that, it makes quite a sturdy box that is perfect for popping those items in, which I'm going to do here. So as you can see, when it's a bit like the self-closing boxes, but there we go. And then what I've created then is I've used a 6-inch piece of designer series paper, which in this instance is, say, the painted palette, and you can either cut by hand, or if you've got the punch, just pop that straight in. It's 6 by 2 inches. Pop that in at the top, and then just fold over the top inch. You could score that if you wanted to, but obviously you don't have to. And then pop a little clip on that. I've die cut one of the that's die from some lovely foiled paper, and all that's left is for us to create the little label to go on the front. And I'm using some Melon Mambo ink and a little bit of Melon Mambo DSP card even, and then just an offcut of Whisper White card that you've got, and just pop for you. And I've used the scallop punch for the first part for this. So this is the 1 1/8 scallop punch, and that just pops there. Then I've used the 1 1/4 inch punch to punch a circle from some Melon Mambo. And then all you need to do is just layer those up using a little glue. I've just got some Tombow here. Pop the ink away before I put my hand in it. And that'll just layer on there. Pop a dimensional on the back. Again, a dimensional always just gives it that little bit of extra lift. Got a little bit of texture here with our sort of fancy lace frill, and that just pops in there and onto the front of your box. So there you have a couple of gift boxes which you could use for any sort of occasion, and with that simple for you sentiment, works really well. As I say, whichever of the clips you happen to have, you can pop those on. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy making one, and that you find someone to gift it to as well. Don't forget, if you'd like any products, visit my Stampin' Up shop, heidismith.stampinup.net, and for more projects, follow my blog, which is flutterbyheidi.co.uk, and hope we see you again soon. Bye for now.